television here in Qatar, he was flabbergasted, and why change it? But Group E is certainly a game, or a group, that we're going to have two exciting games. We're going to keep you abreast of Costa Rica and Germany. 7 o'clock back home, 10 o'clock here local time, on what feels like a cool evening in the Khalifa International Stadium. I bet the aircon is not switched on down at pitch level tonight, as Spain, all in red, playing from right to left, know that they have avoided defeat. They will be through. For Japan, well, ideally they've got to get the win. There is a scenario where they could go through with a draw if the other game ends in a draw. So we'll keep you abreast of all of the permutations. You're listening to 5 Live, as Pau Torres playing at the left of the central defence. Only played the one game in qualifying, but very similar to the Germany game here, where Germany was so comfortable, certainly for the first hour. We're going to see a lot of possession for those in red.
Oh, you see masses of possession from Spain in any game. I mean, I think against Germany the other night, they had 65% possession of the ball versus Germany. So that's the level of this Spanish team in terms of the philosophy of how they play. Possession is king, dominating the ball, toying with your opponent, showing their technical quality. And, you know, just looking at Japan, Jay Boothroyd was spot on earlier when he said they're going to drop to a 5. And they look like a flat back 5 at the moment.
This is Williams out to Gavi. First time cross, hits it from the right hand side. All in red, playing from right to left as we look. And Yunya Ito, who played as an out-and-out right-sided midfielder in the first game, has got to do this wing-back role tonight, playing with a 3. But they do have the ability to be flexible. They can change it. In fact, they reverted to a 3 against Germany in their opening group game, where they really were second best for large parts of that game, and yet with their resolve they came from behind to win, to secure a famous win, and a rare win against UEFA opposition. This is Olmo for Spain, midway through his own half, just being held there by Ito, who takes the throw, and he goes all the way back now to Itakura. Yoshida, who's the central figure in that 3-man defence for Japan, up towards Kamada. Kamada turns and plays the ball out towards that left-hand side. And now to Gonda, the goalkeeper, away towards our left with a back pass, who produced a terrific quadruple save against Germany in the space of about 60 seconds. It was one of those moments where you thought, oh, maybe there might be something in this game, when they were trailing by a goal to 0. And then, of course, Gundogan had hit the post in the second half, and Germany were unable to get that second goal. Talking of Germany, how they started against Costa Rica. Conor McNamara.
Still Costa Rica 0, Germany 0, but Germany have had the first attempt on target of the game, and it's Musiala veering in onto his right boot, just on the edge of the penalty area. A shot which Keylor Navas got down well to save and to push away. Costa Rica 0, Germany 0.
As Kelly was saying, though, everything's riding on it. Germany bottom of the group going into this final set of matches, as Pau Torres to Rodri out to Nico Williams, making his first start. So a couple of appearances off the bench in the previous 2 games, and now it's with Pedri, who was UEFA's best young player at the Euros when he starred in that last year, when he was just 18 years of age. So they've certainly added a lot of exciting young talent to match the experience of Busquets. Cut out by Torres, and then he actually gives the ball away to Maida. Holds the ball up, plays it ahead of him. Taken on the outside now by Kubo, with a cut back into the penalty area. And there was blue shirts coming forward, and now the header by Nagatomo on that far side. But Spain will come forward with Gavi, just held up short of the halfway line. But it was an exciting run by Takefusa Kubo on this near side.
I think that passage of play is what you're going to see on repeat for this game for the 90 minutes. I think you're going to see Spain with the ball. Right now, there's a lull in the tempo. They're having the ball on the halfway line. Japan dropping right off, flat back 5, 4 across the middle. Just Maida by himself, who's going to go out and press a little bit. But then when they win, if they turn over the ball in the middle of the park or they win a tackle, then they can run beyond. You're just going to see this surge of energy go through the Japan team. They're going to get up in support and try and hurt Spain, and that's going to be their tactic.
Well, Kubo, who had that attack, he plays his football in Spain for Real Sociedad. 2 goals in his 16 appearances. Played, of course, against Manchester United at Old Trafford in the Europa League, so they'll know all about him. Playing on the right-hand side, Kamada, actually, I thought would play on the right. Kubo predominantly was on the left against Germany, but they've switched either side of David Maida, the Celtic striker. But Spain have the ball now, and every outfield player is in the half away towards our left-hand side in the Japanese half.
I mean, to give you an idea about how much Spain like the ball, I think they had over 1,000 passes in the game against Costa Rica. I mean, I know it was 7-0, but you can see a similar type of pattern developing in this game as well.
Gavi out to Williams. Williams with the cross. Olmo was there. Morata had the first little nibble. They've got the ball far away as Busquets on the edge of the area, but he was falling backwards as he hit it left-footed, and it's gone high over the top and out for a goal kick. 0-0 and 0-0 in the other game too.
Yeah, he never looked comfortable. Busquets arrived with him on the edge of the box. Poor clearance, really miscues it, and he's got plenty of time. Not a lot of Japanese shirts out there ready to press him. He shifts it onto his left foot, but like you said, Dano, it was a horrible body position, leaning back, and never really got over the ball for any power or to keep the strike down.
South African referee Victor Gomez has given a free kick. It was Pau Torres for a challenge on Maida. It was inside the Japanese half, which they've taken, as it's over on that far side, and Kamada hits the ball long, looking for the run of Maida. Torres moving across towards that far side with the back pass to Simon in the Spanish goal, and they play the ball out. Well, that was a heavy touch by Busquets. He's given the ball away. This is Kubo, who chips it into the penalty area, and in the end it was Pau Torres who had to get back there, but the danger hasn't been dealt with, and Ito fires in a low right-footed shot into the side netting. Extremely sloppy, all stemming from that mistake by Sergio Busquets.
Well, the most unlikely of mistakes as well, from the man who normally is a safe pair of hands with the ball in that area of the pitch, but it takes a horrible touch. And it's a shame that the interception from Maida wasn't a better one. I thought he had a chance to really pass that ball into his teammate. If the pass had been better initially, well, I think the ball would have been in the back of the net, because it would just been a clean one-on-one from about 12 yards out. But they had to reset a little bit in that. The ball had to come back out to the edge of the box. It ends up on the right-hand side, and shot goes into the side netting, but just a little warning for Spain there.
As a former defender, did you think that Balde did well because he was quick to close down Ito, which just seemed to cut out the avenue of him going across the face of goal? He had to go to the near post as a result.
Yeah, absolutely. He had to get narrow to force the ball wide. That's the first. Yep, well done. Get yourself inside so the ball goes outside of you. And once it did, he really did try to block that angle, didn't he? So the shot went into the near post.
Olmo now attacking for Spain. Little back heel. And Balde darts into the penalty area, and the cutback as well was played back from the byline on this left-hand side. Ball's gone behind. It's going to be a corner kick to Spain.
Showed his pace there, didn't he? The young lad, Balde. I know we've had a look at him defensively, but going forward, I mean, he looks absolutely rapid, doesn't he? His little turn of pace there, the first 5 yards was electric. No one could live with him.
Corner's taken short. Olmo to Gavi. Back to Olmo. Delivers the cross. Morata with a header. Down into the ground and then picked up quite comfortably, really. It was straight at Suichi Gonda, the Japanese goalkeeper. Let's get back to find out Costa Rica, Germany. Connor.
9 minutes played. Germany have had 3 decent chances so far. That tells you how this game has started. Still Costa Rica 0, Germany 0. 2 of them from Musiala, 1 a shot on target pushed away. The other one, he had 8 touches of the ball in around the 6-yard box. He was weaving through the fenders. He just couldn't get the clean shot away at the end. And then Thomas Muller with a diving header, Karen Bardsley just off target. Germany must score or they're going home, and they're playing like it.
Absolutely. The numerical dominance going forward is incredible. They're actually on a counter-attack at the minute. I'll hand you over to Connor.
Yeah, well, Musiala gets to the edge of the penalty area, and the header is in! And it's scored by Serge Gnabry! Germany, who had to score tonight, have managed to break the deadlock after 10 minutes. So, Germany are keeping their side of the deal, and they'll try to put a bit of pressure on the other two teams in the group. Serge Gnabry, once of Arsenal with the header. Costa Rica 0, Germany 1.
Well, that now means, I was about to say, as long as it stays like we are, nothing's changed with Spain, Japan, Costa Rica and Germany. Now that means that Japan have got to win, because a draw for Japan was only good enough if Costa Rica, Germany ended in a draw. So straight away the pressure now is on Japan. And this is now where we're going to have to start to pay attention, Matt Upson. You're going to have to earn your money tonight.
Well, you're on it, Deno. You're always on it. I don't think you need my help.
So Germany have currently now moved to second in the table as a result of that goal. Japan, there is a silence inside the Khalifa Stadium. Here is Olmo. Olmo can't get in between the two Japanese players. His cross actually strikes his own player, Pedri. Falls to Gavi, out towards Williams. Right corner of the area. Gavi makes the run with a cutback, cleared away only as far as Williams' right-hand side. Back to Azpilicueta, right corner of the area to Morata, and Morata doesn't miss. Morata with a downward header. 3-3 for Alvaro Morata, and he marks his first start of the World Cup with yet another goal, and Spain lead by a goal to nil.
Well, it's just too easy for Spain and for Morata to get on the end of this cross. I mean, it's a good position, lovely ball in, but there's not enough presence from the Japanese defence in order to compete against Morata, to even make his life difficult to head this ball. He probably scores, well, I think he's actually inside the 6-yard box. Question marks of Gonda as well. Not coming out to deal with this, but the ball gets cleared, not particularly well, gets recycled to the edge of the box. Azpilicueta with a little chip, and Morata heads in from, 4 yards out. It's a good cross, he gets up well, but there's nowhere near enough pressure or challenge on him. It's far too easy, and it's such a simple header, downwards into the turf.
And he becomes the second Spanish player to score in each of his first 3 World Cup appearances. The only other Spanish player to do exactly that was Zara in 1950. Well, even before they fell behind, they were under pressure. But now with Germany leading by a goal to nil, Japan need to score twice as they trail by a goal to nil. However, that's exactly the same scenario that they were faced when they played Germany a few days ago here in this stadium.
I mean, you just had this feel at the start of this evening with Germany sat at the bottom of the table on 1 point, but with how the fixtures are, you just always had this feeling that Germany were going to go through, even though they're in the worst position out of all teams on the table. You just know that when it comes to those moments, they deliver.
They've now scored more goals in this World Cup than when they actually won it in 2010.
Spain?
Yeah.
7-0 helps, doesn't it?
Just a little. But the most that they've ever scored is 11. And that was when they reached the quarter-finals in 1986.
There can't be many games in the World Cup finals where there's 7 goals to one team. There can't be many bigger scorelines than that in the World Cup finals.
Here's your answer to that one. Because if you remember, Hungary 10, El Salvador 1 in 1982.
Okay.
Hungary 9, South Korea 0. That was in 54. Yugoslavia 9, Zaire 0 in 1974.
So you have done your homework there.
Yeah. Most goals in a match 1954 was 12. Austria 7, Switzerland 5.
Wow.
So Spain leading by a goal to nil. And any sense of jeopardy in the group just seems to have evaporated quite quickly as far as Group E is concerned, because Germany leading 1-0 and Spain needing to score 2. They're going to have to really pull off a remarkable performance now. bearing in mind they're going to see so little of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just having a quick scan onto the screen for the possession. I think it's 79% Spain, 14% Japan, and that says a lot. When you're chasing a game, one thing you need is the ball, and I don't think Japan are going to see much of it.
It's a lovely little pirouette by Pau Torres as they get it out towards Gavi, and now Gavi inside to Busquets. Pedri takes the ball in midway through the Japan half. Spain lead by a goal to nil. Germany 1-0 up against Costa Rica. It was that game against Costa Rica where they just all the good work against Germany proved to be their undoing. That have beaten Costa Rica, that have already been through at this stage. However, now they need 2 goals because of this scoreline involving Costa Rica and Germany. Conor McNamara.
Yes, quarter of an hour played now. Costa Rica 0, Germany 1. Germany are all about it now. They are bossing the midfield. They've had another chance. Goretzka's header on target, pushed away by Keylor Navas, and Karen Bardsley's alongside me. Costa Rica can hardly get out of their own half. This is how we thought Germany would start the tournament.
This is exactly what I expected from Germany from the first day, we started. They're absolutely dominating possession. Costa Rica are struggling to find connections, and they're finally entering the German half.
And it is Serge Gnabry's goal that separates them. Costa Rica 0, Germany 1. At the moment, this would be enough to see the Germans through.
Yep, they would go through as runners-up. Spain on course to finish top of Group E, would have a last 16 date with Croatia. Balde, near side the left, plays it back to Pedri. Hit it low right-footed. That was blocked by Tanaka. And then he goes all the way back to the halfway line to Pau Torres.
It's always a pleasure to watch Spain with the ball, isn't it? Especially their midfield 3. When you think of Gavi, Pedri, they're not the biggest in stature, are they? But the way they use their body to shield the ball is an absolute lesson. They receive it and they always manage to get their body between the opponent and the ball. So you can never get it. If you get it, you have to foul them. And they're just comfortable having it with 2 men around them, 3 men around them. They'll still have the ball because they're always positioning themselves in the right place. It's great to watch, and it just allows them to dominate possession in nearly every game.
We talked before about Japan playing with the 3 central defenders, but essentially it's a back 5 because Spain are pinning the wing back so far.
It's a flat back 5, isn't it? I mean, if you look at Aito, Nagatomo, they're just going all the way in with Olmo and Nico Williams, so that you've literally got 3 centre-backs with Morata, which then you wonder, well, how are the midfield going to get out and be able to put a foot in and set about the Spanish players in the middle of the park to win the ball back? At the moment, they just can't.
That's the voice of Matt Upson, who's part of our team out here in Qatar, with Japan 0, Spain 1, and Germany leading Costa Rica by a goal to nil. As Spain, taken away from him by Maida, runs all the way back to Taniguchi, one of the 3 central defenders, and there was just a blow there for Kubo, who's gone down over the halfway line, holding his face in a challenge. He's back to his feet all right. Japan, though, trailing by a goal to nil. Radio 5 Sports Extra, the TMS team will be back with you in the early hours of the morning from around 4:45. Second day of the first test. Incredible day's play. Crawley top scoring with 122, 4 centuries, as England hit a 506 for 4 on that opening day in Pakistan. So the cricket back on Sports Extra and BBC Sounds, of course, in the morning. And on BBC Sounds as well, ahead of tomorrow's grudge match, there is a special podcast on the World Cup daily feed in the build-up to Ghana against Uruguay. We'll have commentary of that one tomorrow afternoon from 3 o'clock, news of South Korea, Portugal, and tomorrow night, commentary of Cameroon against Brazil and news of Serbia, Switzerland, as the group stages draw to an end. And then it's straight in to the last 16, and on Sunday, of course, England against Senegal. All the build-up and all the news between now and then you'll get throughout from the England camp on your World Cup daily podcast. 20 minutes played, Spain are leading by a goal to nil. and it's very, very comfortable for them. As Morata's downward header, and Germany leading 1-0, so they will be going through as well as it stands. As Japan, they'll be hoping that Costa Rica can pull level and somehow they can fashion an equaliser. Although getting the ball off the Spaniards might be a problem.
You do wonder when Hajime Moriyasu is going to look at this and think, I need to make a change tactically, because for me at the moment, they just can't lay a glove on Spain, and you'd rather them go, okay, maybe we'll switch to a back four, push another man into the middle of the park, set about Busquets, Pedri, Gavi, not let them have the ball, be physical. At the moment, it's just shadow boxing.
Yeah.
Shadow boxing. It's just so easy for Spain to get the passes in. They're going to be well over 1,000 passes this evening at this rate.
Yeah. So you've got the team in all red leading by a 1-0 against those in the royal blue shirts, and at the minute they're going to have to come out of the corner for Team Blue and start fighting.
Absolutely, they've conceded. They're in trouble. You know, they're not going to have a choice.
We've got a Mexican wave sweeping around this expansive stadium here in the Khalifa International Stadium. Holds just over 45,500 as Japan, trailing by a 0-0, give the ball away over on that far side. Olmo, nice, comfortable walking pace really for Spain. Rodri, a lot of red shirts as well. A lot of support for Spain inside this stadium, as this is Pau Torres of Villarreal, his first outing at this World Cup. You would think that Laporte would come back in to partner Rodri for the last 16. He changed 3/4 of his back line tonight, Luis Enrique. As the ball is intercepted, just stepping forward by Taniguchi. And Kamada now looks for the run on the left outside of him by Nagatomo. But they lose the ball again midway through the Spanish half, and it's back with Spain once more leading 1-0.
It's just another side of the Spanish game that is impressive also, and it's the ability to hunt the ball back down once they lose it. They really do get back in position quickly. They don't just get there, they get back and then they affect the man on the ball, and they tend to kind of swarm around the player who has the ball, and if you've not got your head up early and got your pass off, you'll end up losing possession, which has happened quite a few times in this game already. And it's that reaction from the wide players, Nico Williams, Dani Olmo, good runners. They lose the ball, bang, their reaction is to get back in, help the full-back out, and all of a sudden Spain have the ball back.
We're midway through the first half. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live. Spain are ahead, Germany ahead, and it's those two teams who are going through as Morata takes a shot early into the penalty area, right-footed in the inside right channel, and it was easily saved by Gonda. But it is that Germany goal that has changed everything in terms of Japan, because they now need to score 2. A draw would have been good enough for them, but with Germany leading 1-0, that Serge Gnabry goal after 10 minutes, the equation now is that somehow Japan are going to have to find the 2. They've won 3 of 11 against UEFA opposition, all in the group stages. The latest was against Germany. They're going to have to replicate that scoreline. But it's Spain just so comfortable, dictating the tempo, dictating the pace of the game. And Japan, it looks a little bleak at this stage for them.
Yeah, I mean, if they're hoping that they're going to be able to ride this first half out and then kind of push for a mistake like the Germany game, or hope that they're going to get those chances, I think you're dealing with a different animal here in Spain. Yeah. And the, you know, availability for them to have the ball is just less than the match against Germany.
As Pilaqueta picks out the run of Morata with a cutback. Olmo did ever so well. The cutback from the right-hand side, Olmo was making the run into the 6-yard box. It was behind him, but he still managed to get his right leg to wrap it around and almost get a shot away. But Azpilicueta, so much room for Azpilicueta to come forward.
I mean, everyone's so deep. Azpilicueta stepping straight into the space where you think you need to get a blue shirt out there to press the ball, but they're dropping, they're starting positions deep. There's 5 players along the back line. I think the offside flag's off for the chance of the run, but Spain move it through the midfield and into the front so quickly.
How do you win a game of football with 19% possession? That's what it currently is at the minute.
I don't even notice that, is it? Is it 12? Because of the ball in contest, 7%. That's how they do the possession figures here, so slightly less than that. I mean, it's almost impossible, isn't it?
Offside against Kamada. He just made the run in behind Azpilicueta, the Spain right back, but the Eintracht Frankfurt player had gone too early, and it will be a free kick to Spain. 25 minutes played. Costa Rica 0, Germany 1. Here, Spain leading Japan by a goal to 0.
Well, I think in contrast, in terms of possession, I think they had 26% possession against Germany and beat them 2-1. And I think they're hoping for that similar kind of pattern of the game, you know, because they haven't really changed since the news of the goal at Germany and since they've conceded. It's been the same game plan, hasn't it? And they've had options to just change that as we're going through the first half.
Yoshida steps forward out of defence, out to Kamada. Now they've sent a few royal blue shirts into the Spanish half, but they've lost the ball. They'll try and win it back, but Busquets just turns back to Rodri. He lays it off square to Torres, and then the ball is passed back to the goalkeeper, Simon, and now looking to turn away. Comfortably done by Rodri, despite the presence of 2 Japanese players trying to hunt him down. Cool as you like.
That was cool, wasn't it? No flustered moment there for Rodri. Feints to go up the line and just kind of Cruyff turns the ball back behind him, sends a Japanese player sliding into touch, trying to block the pass he thought he was going to make.
Olmo linking up with Balde on this near left-hand side, and then the ball is chipped out by Itakura to Ito on this near side, and again it breaks down for Japan. And so I would imagine that Moriyasu, their coach, who is watching on with his suit, with his smartly dressed down below, his arms behind his back at this stage, will be just starting to feel a little bit frustrated, because when you get the ball and you've only had 13% possession, when it's that little, when you do get it, it's so important that you then retain it. But they're trailing by a goal to 0. What about Costa Rica, Germany? Conor McNamara.
There's 27 minutes played, still that Serge Gnabry goal separated the teams. Costa Rica 0, Germany 1. Gnabry's first ever goal at a World Cup, but he's 21st for his country, and they're banging on the door for a second, and they might need it as well at some stage tonight, Germany, as Raum takes her corner here from the left-hand side and it's headed away. Karen Bardsley's alongside me. Costa Rica just can't get it down the other end.
No, they really can't. Costa Rica are really struggling, and they're going to need a lot of courage tonight to play against this German side. They need runs forward, and they really need some confidence to get on the ball and maybe look for a counter, play a bit more directly. German
goalkeeper Manuel Neuer making his 19th appearance at a World Cup, more than any goalkeeper ever. Costa Rica 0, Germany 1 for now.
Thanks Karen, thanks Conor. Whilst the two of them were talking, Busquets, who was sloppy earlier in the half, played a rather loose ball that was almost intercepted by Maeda, as almost has passed that ball right through the middle, and it runs through to the goalkeeper Gonda. I don't think he looked, and he was side on to his own goal. He almost proved to be quite costly again.
He nearly passed it straight to, was it Maeda?
Yeah.
Nearly passed it straight to him. First time ball, a little bit too relaxed, you feel, and that is one of the dangers, in fairness. If you've got the amount of comfortable possession, you can quite easily just slip into that mode of being a little bit too relaxed, a little bit too confident, and make that mistake.
Busquets forward to the goal scorer Morata, quickly controls it, lays it off to this left-hand side. Olmo goes back to Pedri, and now Rodri in the centre circle of the Japan half, with Spain leading 1-0. Busquets, Pau Torres plays a short diagonal ball back towards Busquets. Pedri again on the turn. Japan have put everybody back behind the ball. Here is Rodri. They're going to switch it. They play the ball out towards the right-hand side. And there is Nico Williams of Athletic Bilbao, the right winger. His brother Inaki, who we saw play for Ghana. Could it be a family double?
Is that his brother, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was Inaki Williams who only committed to the Ghana cause. It's an incredible backstory that they've got with their mum walking through the Sahara Desert when she was pregnant.
Wow.
And then they managed to get to Spain, and so Nico Williams is just starting off as he's certainly in the embryonic stages of his international career. This is his 6th appearance, and Inaki actually admits that Nico is the more talented of the two. That's what he said.
It's very kind of him.
Yeah.
Not many brothers kind of are that honest, I suppose, or are willing to admit that, but fair play to him.
Half an hour played.
Sibling rivalry and all that.
It's the same in our household. My brother's the more talented of us two.
I bet you don't agree with him.
He got the brains, I got the looks. 1-0 to Spain. 14 minutes to go to half-time. Clearance by Rodri. Busquets plays it forward.
You've got a bit of a special occasion today or anything, because you're rather dressed up.
No, I haven't.
You've got a nice smart shirt on.
It's just one of the 35 that
Just
I
thought
brought
that
out.
you might have been a special occasion of some kind.
No, I always try to be smartly dressed, Matt. You know
Okay.
that.
Do you?
Here is Pau Torres. Back to Simon. Spain lead by a goal to nil. Germany are 1-0 up against Costa Rica. Spain are going through as group winners of Group E. Germany are going through as runners-up. They thought that maybe that defeat here against Japan would have been a costly one. But they had a chance, as that was a late challenge on Busquets, who's writhing at the moment, holding his left ankle inside the centre circle. Maida goes across and tells him to get up. The referee will just have a little talking to him. Has Neil Lennon been in touch with you, George? Because Celtic under Neil Lennon beat Barcelona 2-1 with 16% possession in the 2012 in the Champions League. And in Euro 2020, Spain had 85.1% possession versus Sweden, and it finished 0-0. Someone's been doing their homework. Good knowledge, good stats.
It's always interesting to look at possession, isn't it, as a marker of how results flow with and without possession. And we all know that you don't have to dominate possession to win a game. You know, Leicester won a Premier League, not dominating possession.
Very true.
If your assets in other areas are that good, and at the moment we're not quite seeing enough from Japan on the break, physicality, quality. You know, that sucker punch doesn't appear to be there at the moment.
Taniguchi's just fouled Gavi. It's a free kick to Spain, who lead by a goal to nil. I received some interesting stats earlier today. This was before the Group F games. So in fact we witnessed our 100th goal at this World Cup when Canada got their solitary goal in the 2-1 defeat against Morocco. But since the World Cup expanded to 32 teams, so that was in '98, that was the France World Cup, only Germany in 2006 and South Africa in 2010 have had lower goals per match average than this one in Qatar. So we're averaging about 2.4 goals per game. So whilst there's been a number of draws going into half-time that have been goalless, we still have been witnessing quite a number of goals. 2.4. Simon almost caught there, dithering inside his 6-yard area. He dithered on one occasion, and then he dallied on the other, and he almost presented an opportunity to Maida, and then he cleared the ball long, and then Williams with his pace gives chase, and Japan now play the ball forward. Flag stays down for the time being. Kamada, now it's raised. He did look offside.
Yeah, he did.
What was Simon doing?
Well, I think he just overthought it a little bit, changed his mind before he knew it. I think it was Maida was on him, ready to press him, but he shifted it back onto his right foot. I mean, that is very close. He just chopped it with his left foot, and then in fairness to him, he found a pass with his right foot as the ball was going to go out for a corner, and he just hooks the ball out to Azpilicueta onto his chest, brings it down, casual as you like, plays it into midfield, and all of a sudden, Williams is nearly in behind with a pass, and that is a demonstration of maybe flirting on the edge of danger, but they trust their technical ability, these Spanish players.
Yeah, and certainly Luis Enrique does with his goalkeepers. He's very much, he wants the keepers to be good with their feet, because that's the reason why Brighton's Robert Sanchez and Brentford's David Raya are in this squad, because when they were both called up to the Spain national team, there was an element of surprise by sections of the Spanish media, but that's what they want. They want their keepers to be good with the ball at their feet. Japan are coming forward. Kubo out towards the left-hand side, comes back towards Kubo, inside left channel the penalty area, plays it back out to Nagatomo, couldn't get a sight of goal there. Kubo takes over once more, helping out with Nagatomo. Inside now to Morita in the centre of midfield. Japan all of a sudden is starting to string passes together. We haven't seen that in the game so far, as they trail by a goal to nil. Japan are going home as it stands. Germany are going through with Spain. Both teams are leading by a goal to nil. Ball played forward now. Ito, right-hand side. This is better from Japan. Ito wins the ball, taken over. Kamada with the shot. Strikes the legs of Pau Torres. Much better from Japan.
Good block from Pau Torres. Just stands his ground. Bolde does really well initially. He very nearly steals his ball as he gets his foot across. I think he's offside, actually, in the build-up to that. Ito looks offside, but Bolde just got his body the right side. The ball goes inside, and Pau Torres is there just to block that, just to almost support his left back in that position.
Nothing materialises from the throw on this near side to right in their royal blue shirts and white shorts, playing from left to right. We've been playing for 37 minutes on BBC Radio 5 Live. And it is still Spain who are leading by a goal to nil. What's the latest? Costa Rica, Germany. Conor McNamara.
Still Costa Rica nil, Germany won. The goal after 10 minutes by Serge Gnabry. And at the moment, this is enough for the Germans, but they are banging on the door. They want that second. If Japan were to get an equaliser in your game, well, then this one goal lead mightn't be enough for Germany. And Cara, there's no let up until they get that second goal. They won't take their foot off the gas, Germany. Absolutely
not. They've been absolutely unbelievably dominant going forward. I mean, Costa Rica pretty much blocking up into 2 blocks of 5 in front of Keylor Navas. Musala's dominating, loves back foot receiving the pockets, he's turning into space, and the Costa Ricans just can't keep up.
If Japan were to get an equaliser in your game against Spain, and then it could come down to the head-to-head, and remember, Japan beat Germany, so the Germans could be on their way home, so there's still a bit of jeopardy. Costa Rica nil, Germany 1 for now.
Yep, for that to happen though, Conor, Japan are going to have an effort on Simon's goal. At the minute, the opportunities for Japan that have offered a little bit of encouragement have either come with the goalkeeper offering a chance to Maida, or a couple of lapses of concentration from Busquets.
There's none on target, is there? I think they've had 2 efforts on goal. Japan, none on target, and that's a problem in their position right now.
Spain lead by a goal to nil. Busquets just invites Rodri to step forward out of the centre of defence. His forward ball through the middle to Morata, the only recognised centre forward in this Spanish squad, starting for the first time. He scored 3 in 3. He's certainly having a good tournament, is Alvaro Morata, which actually means as well with his goal that he's now gone outright 5th in terms of the all-time leading goal scorers for Spain. Morata with his 30th goal for his country. The man who he was level with before tonight was Fernando Hierro. Incredible to think that he got 29 goals in his glittering career.
Unbelievable. But Itakura, the centre-back, has just almost had enough and come steaming out into midfield and just picked up a yellow card on Busquets, I think it was. But I didn't mind what he did, Deno, because they kind of need to get the centre-backs out of that back line and pressurise it in the midfield. One of them needs to step out and engage with either Pedri, Gavi or Busquets when they have the ball, and just try and apply more pressure in the middle of the park and don't make it so comfortable for Spain.
Well, it's a costly yellow card as well for Itakura, the central defender, because that means if they do go through, he'll be suspended for the last 16. They're attacking. Tanaka, right-hand side. And then very, very well marshalled out behind. It goes for a goal kick. Back to Conor McNamara watching Costa Rica, Germany.
Another chance for Germany, another chance for Serge Gnabry, who should probably have got his second. He shuffled onto his right boot, he's 10 yards out, he puts the shot wide. Might Germany live to regret that? Costa Rica 0, Germany 1.
Producer George is in excellent form tonight. We, of course, were just walking in ahead of the man we were just talking about, Fernando Hierro.
Yeah.
He tells me that in January 2005, you actually played against him at St Andrews, and you scored that day for Birmingham against Bolton.
Did I?
Can you remember that far back?
Well, clearly not.
No.
To score against a legend like him as well. We saw him on the way in, didn't we? It was, you know, to score that many goals from his position as well.
Yeah.
It was pretty incredible. I just remember him in that Real Madrid shirt a little bit more than the Bolton one. I wonder what memories he finds dearest to himself. I'm sure that time at Real Madrid, I mean, that was an amazing team as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
From what I remember.
Well, he hasn't really aged that much either, as he was behind us, Spain leading by a goal to 0.
He could play tonight at this pace.
Yeah.
You could probably put him out there and he'd stroke it around and be okay.
4 minutes to go to half-time. Germany are leading 1-0, as we've been hearing from Connor and Karen. And Spain are leading here by that Morata goal, scored after 11 minutes. The ball is chipped over the top by Balde to Olmo, lifts it over the head of Ito, the right wing back. Ito then recovers to get the block in inside the penalty area. Olmo has support from Balde, left-hand side. Pedri, left corner of the box, eventually crosses the ball to Azpilicueta, right-hand side. Spain infield. This is Williams, back to Azpilicueta, passing the ball back to Busquets. He passes it now to Pau Torres. Can't wait to see what the half-time stats are as Busquets plays it behind Olmo and it breaks down. But then they've given it away. Busquets wins it back. Busquets, forward ball. Olmo in the penalty area. Excellent block coming in. That was from Taniguchi, who read the situation well because Olmo was looking for the right-footed shot. But Spain have the ball once again, and they're starting to probe once more with under 3 minutes to go to half-time. Here is Gavi, able to stand still, no pressure on him, to Busquets, central position, Pedri's forward ball. Olmo goes into a central area, back with Balde on this left-hand side, to Rodri outside the centre circle, across to Azpilicueta, closed down by Kamada. He goes all the way back to Unai Simon, the goalkeeper. Spain lead by a goal to 0. Latest of Germany, Conor McNamara.
Still Costa Rica 0, Germany 1, but Costa Rica have just had a glorious opportunity. Keisher Fuller, the right wing-back who scored in the last game against Japan, taking advantage of a mistake by Raum. Rudiger wasn't able to stop him, and he gets a shot on target, but Neuer was able to push it out for a corner. Garibaldi's alongside me. That's the first time we've seen Costa Rica come forward, and they very nearly gave Germany the scare.
Yeah, it's disappointing from Rudiger. Looks like he just kind of fell asleep and switched off, but fortunately Neuer was there to hit that point-blank save and touch it over the bar.
Wake-up call for Germany. Costa Rica 0, Germany 1.
Yeah, well, they didn't learn their lessons from the game against Japan, and they were 1-0 up, had chances to put the game to bed, didn't do so. And in the end, it was Japan coming from a goal down to win by 2-1. So that sounds certainly like there's a lot more drama in the Al Bayt Stadium than there is here in the Khalifa Stadium, with Spain still very, very comfortable at 1-0.
Taniguchi just coming out from defence there, very similar to the tackle Itakura picked up a yellow card for, and he sees himself with a yellow for it. It's a late challenge on Gavi, but again, Deno, they're having to come out from that centre-back position into midfield, and I think it's harder doing that than if you were to just change formation, get higher up the pitch and just try and press in, because you're always gambling from a centre-back position to try and arrive in midfield, and 9 times out of 10 against these type of players, they're so quick across the ground, you're going to be late. You're going to make that. They're now both on a yellow card.
Yeah.
They can't come out and dangle a leg in there now. They're going to get another one and get sent off.
Yeah, of the 3 central defenders, and in fact there could be another one here. Yoshida has now been, so all 3 central defenders have been shown a yellow card.
Yeah.
Itakura, who'll miss the last 16 should they go through. Taniguchi, who was just booked, and I was about to say 2 of the 3 have been booked, and then Yoshida, for clattering Murata, has now been booked as well. So all 3 central defenders are in the official of the South African referee, Victor Gomez.
Yeah, Yoshida's not too happy with this one, and I maybe make him right. It's not a yellow card, it's a foul, but Murata throws himself on the floor holding his ankle, and he's just letting the referee know, and I think he's spot on, to be honest. It was a foul, but it's not a yellow card, but it's all stemming from the fact the distances are all wrong. He's having to make up too much space to try and arrive and affect the ball, and they're committing these fouls. Far better off starting a bit higher up.
Just the additional 60 seconds to go in this first half, where it's Japan 0, Spain 1. Spain on course to qualify as group winners. Germany leading by a goal to 0 will be also going through to the last 16, as Azpilicueta controls the ball and then runs forward with pace, 30 yards out from goal. Out it goes to the right touchline. Williams enters the penalty area on the right-hand side and crosses the ball. And it doesn't go out of play for a goal kick. It'll be a throw. Thought that had drifted out, but the referee has said that it will be a throw to Spain.
And he got a deflection.
Down by the corner flag.
Yeah, I think it got a slight deflection, because like you say, the ball looked like it changed angle a little bit. It looked like it was going to go out, didn't it? And it managed to stay in. So I think it just caught.
It's actually a corner kick that almost going to take on this near side. In it goes. Fisted away by Gonda, the goalkeeper, and the referee blows the half-time whistle. Spain are sitting pretty. Completely in charge. Murata's header after 12 minutes from Azpilicueta's cross, and no real concerns for Spain. Japan are going to have to drastically improve in this second half. So difficult for them because Spain have dominated so much. Matt Upson.
Yeah, they have dominated, and you expect them to dominate with the ball, but Japan have to get out and be more physical. They have to change their shape a little bit, start to match up, get some pressure on the midfield, and try and push those mistakes that they've very nearly got. Been loose a couple of times with the ball, Spain, and got away with it, because they do have great quality. But they've got to try and force those mistakes on Spain higher up the pitch. The only way to do that is to get up the pitch, probably change that shape. You know, the back 3, just marking Murata, it's not going to do it for them. They're going to lose out in midfield, so they have to push in a little bit.
So half-time then here in the Khalifa International Stadium, and Murata, only the 2nd Spanish player to score in each of his first 3 World Cup appearances, with the all-important goal, and they lead 1-0 at half-time. Kelly.
Thank you, Dano. Ian Dennis and Matthew Upson at the Khalifa Stadium for Japan against Spain. Guillaume Balaguer is also watching on. Guillaume, it was such a controlled first-half performance from Spain. It seems ridiculous to say that a team that started with a 7-0 victory is growing into the tournament.
Sometimes it feels like it doesn't, because yes, we are 1-0 ahead, but it lacks a little bit of finesse in the last third. That's something that Luis Enrique has mentioned already in the previous game as well. So it's fine to have the ball, but you have to do much more with it, I feel. But as the goal came earlier on, it's also down to Japan to make life difficult to us, and they only did so a couple of times on the pressured high. I think that's the way to play Spain, to actually make them very uncomfortable when they build passing, especially when it goes to Unai Simon. I hope you enjoyed that. There's a little bit of excitement when he gets the ball, isn't it? Because you could actually lose it.
It is, and it brings a certain amount of jeopardy into the situation. Matt, on Guillaume's point, and you sort of touched on this earlier, the way for Japan to be able to get back into this game is, yes, to kind of raise their overall levels of performance, but also to disrupt Spain, to make things a bit more difficult for them.
That's what I expected, much more of, and I haven't seen it yet. It's almost like they've turned up, they've with that back 5 that have sat all in one line. So you've got 3 centre-halves, marking Murata, the midfield players, Tanaka and Morita, have got absolutely no chance of getting the ball anywhere near the Spain three. And at that, it's just possession time for Spain. And they've had, 14% of the ball, Japan. It's going to be very difficult to score a goal. And also, it just makes Spain look so comfortable. We were saying we saw Hierro on the way in. He could have probably sat in the midfield there in that first half and not been challenged enough.
I just wonder if you have to actually disrupt Spain, as Kelly and I agree on, from the beginning, but you're used to have a medium block or another way of defending, of waiting for the teams to attack you. Can you really switch the team physically, mentally, to a pressure high that will really, really be effective? It probably is very difficult.
I don't even think, I don't think they've got to pressure that high, Jim. They've just got to get up the pitch and maybe go to a back four and put an extra man in midfield, so you don't allow Spain just to tick the clock down, having endless minutes of possession that is unopposed, because the game's just going to drift away from Japan and it will be gone. And I think there's no worse feeling than that as a player, that you walk off the pitch feeling like we didn't really lay a glove. So you might get beat for, you might concede another 2 goals, maybe, but at least you go down swinging, and I think you want to see that from Japan in this second half.
Matthew Upson and Guillaume Balaguer, thank you very much for now. Guillaume, that was very generous of you to say that we agreed on that point when I'd literally just repeated what you just said. It was pure plagiarism. Guillaume Balaguer there at Japan against Spain. Spain leading by a goal to nil. Looks like they are going through top of the group as things stand. And also, as things stand, they will be joined by Germany because they're leading Costa Rica by a goal to nil. Karen Barsley and Conor McNamara watching this one. Conor.
Yeah, Costa Rica nil, Germany won. The goal from Serge Gnabry after 10 minutes. In truth, Germany have been completely on top. They might have been 2-3-0 up by this stage, but it remains tense here because remember, Germany must win. An equaliser for Costa Rica, Karen, and the Costa Ricans would go through. Germany probably need this insulation of a second goal. Do you think they'll get it?
I mean, they certainly need one, as you say, rightly, and they've had a few warning shots across the bow from Costa Rica, and they're, when Rudiger has switched off, and there have been a few moments of counter-attacking pressure from the Costa Ricans. But, I mean, Musiala has been unbelievable going forward. Gnabry's unbelievable, 1v1 duels and deliveries into the box and shots, so I just don't see how this is possibly going to finish without Germany scoring another goal.
The best chance, the only chance for Costa Rica, Keisha Fuller, who scored the winner against Japan, taking advantage of Raum's error, Rudiger's hesitation, but Manuel Neuer, he's 117th cap from a goalkeeping point of view, Karen. I mean, being able to just switch on and be alert and make that save, that's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Honestly, it's not as easy as it looks. You think, you're just doing out for however long, and then suddenly you're just called into action. It's a testament to his experience and his, presence in the German side.
Right, as things stand, Kelly, Germany are second in the group and going through. As things stand, Costa Rica are bottom. However, 1 goal could change everything, and if Costa Rica could get that 1 goal without replying the second half, they would go through. So still a bit of a drama to come here, I think.
Conor, thank you very much. Conor McNamara and Karen Barsley keeping us across everything that happens between Costa Rica and Germany. Coming up, we're going to have more reaction from the England cricket camp after a superb opening day's play in the first test against Pakistan, and we will focus on rugby union and Eddie Jones' England future. First, though, here's the BBC News on 5 Live with Richard Foster.
Take the World Cup with you. Qatar 2022.
On BBC Sounds, this is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Nearly 1 in 3 patients taken by ambulance to hospitals in England had to wait at least 30 minutes to be transferred to A&E last week. New figures coincide with separate data showing vacancies across NHS England are at a new high. More than 130,000 full-time jobs are currently unfilled. President Macron says France and the United States need to become brothers in arms again now that war has returned to Europe. He's been speaking as he arrived at the White House for a state visit. The leader of the SNP at Westminster, Ian Blackford, has denied claims that his decision to resign was a case of jumping before he was pushed. He's held the position for 5 years, but says it's time for fresh leadership ahead of the next general election. And New York and Singapore have been named as the most expensive cities in the world to live in. It's the first time New York has topped the list. Last year's number 1, Tel Aviv, is now 3rd.
The best live sport.
The FIFA World Cup, Qatar 2022.
Coverage of every game on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
The stage is left to Marcus Rashford with the free kick. Oh, what a free kick! And that was special
On Sunday evening at 7, Senegal v England.
We're going to go again, and it's knockout football now, so this is where it becomes a lot tougher.
Take the World Cup with you.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
BBC 5 Live.
The FIFA World Cup, Qatar 2022 with Kelly Capes.
Hello, there's a really big 45 minutes coming up for you in Group E. We've got commentary of Japan against Spain, where it is 1-0 to Spain at the moment. Costa Rica are losing 1-0 against Germany. So at the moment, it's Spain and Germany going through to the knockout stages. But there's already been a World Cup shock this afternoon. Belgium failed to qualify for the round of 16 after a goalless draw against the 2018 finalist Croatia. After the game, manager Roberto Martinez confirmed that he would be leaving the national side.
That was my last game with the national team, and it's emotional, as you can imagine. I can't carry on. Sorry. I'm a person that I like to build things. I've been 6 years in the national team. I arrived with a clear job of qualifying for the World Cup, and then you get so engaged with the project, you get so engaged with the people behind the players, and then we finished with a bronze medal, as you can imagine, and it felt that we had to give it another go, and it's been a real joy. We've been able to build an incredible legacy. I know that a lot of people only see legacy by winning a major tournament. I see it in a different way. I'm so proud of these players, and the real fans in Belgium, they appreciated what this generation are doing.
That was Roberto Martinez leaving the Belgium national side after their exit from this World Cup. Morocco and Croatia are through to the knockout stages. Morocco topped Group F. They beat Canada 2-1 earlier on. More reaction to this on the World Cup Daily podcast, and you can download that via BBC Sounds app a little later on. Meanwhile, England's preparations for Senegal are now well underway. We'll bring you commentary of that last 16 match on Sunday evening on 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds. Trent Alexander-Arnold has been chatting to Rick Edwards and Emma Saunders.
I don't know if you've seen this. Cafu wants to see a little bit more of you. He was asked about it. He said, I don't understand why he's not playing. He has everything. It's always the same story. They say you're not defensive enough and you remain out. Somebody used to say the same about Roberto Carlos and me, but I think we won something. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, I did see that. I think obviously he's seen the situation I'm in. He can probably relate to it. He understands how it feels. A legend of the game, someone who I looked up to growing up. So, the kind words, and I think, he's got a point, I suppose.
How deserving do you feel you are of a starting place in that game against Senegal?
I would say I feel like I do deserve to start. Maybe I'm not saying that off how I performed the other day or other people's things. It's just the mentality that I think every footballer has, is that's why there's always disappointment when the team gets named, because you do think you've done enough to play the game. And then if you don't feel like that, then what's the point in really being here? So I think it's always the big thing when you've got squads of this size. You've got 11 players that think you've made the right decision, and you've got 15, 16 that think you've made the wrong decision. So, you can't keep everyone happy. It's not in my hands. All I can do is train and play as well as I can to try and earn that trust and get on the pitch.
Can I ask my question quickly?
Oh, go on, hit us with the hard-hitting stuff.
I've been getting a lot of grief about wearing socks and sliders. Trent, just a quick view from you, please.
Good?
Yes!
It's a thumbs
Double
up.
thumbs!
Fine.
Double thumbs from Trent.
That and all the big questions with Trent and Emma and Rick inside the England camp at around 9:30 tonight, right here on 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds. Tomorrow's commentaries: Ghana against Uruguay at 3 o'clock, with updates of South Korea against Portugal in their group. Then from 7, commentary of Cameroon against Brazil, with updates from Serbia against Switzerland. In the cricket, England's batters in fine form on the opening day of the first test against Pakistan in Rawalpindi. They finished on 506 for 4. They're the first team ever to score more than 500 runs on the first day of a test. 4 players scored centuries, and that's never happened before on day one of a match. Zach Crawley got a century in just 86 balls. That's the fastest by an England test opener, and it breaks Graham Gooch's record.
I'd like to be half as good as Graham Gooch, but I'll take that record. I'm very pleased with that, and hopefully I can beat my record.
there was a heart-in-mouth moment. There must have been when you were on 99. Talk us through it from your point of view, that.
Yeah, so obviously I hit the ball before to get to 99, then I saw this big gap at square leg, and for the first time in the day I went away from my process and tried to play across it, and I thought I was out, to be honest, but luckily I got away with it, and it was a good lesson. You just got to keep playing your game no matter what score you're on.
So did you review just in hope, really, rather than expectation?
Well, Ducky said straight away actually it was going down legs, so I trusted him, and to be fair, on 99 I think I was always going to review that one. I was going to have a look either way, I reckon.
And then the moment itself, very special.
Oh, so special. Even that made it more special, actually, getting out, and then because I realised I felt like I'd lost something when I was out. I felt like I was out, and I felt like I missed a big opportunity, and then to score the 100, a couple of balls later was an unbelievable feeling, and a 1-hour treasure.
Well, that was Zach Crawley, but there's much more reaction to today's remarkable event on TMS podcast on BBC Sounds. And the team are back at 4:45 tomorrow morning, ball-by-ball commentary on 5 Sports Extra. Now to the latest strange twist in the future of England Rugby Union head coach Eddie Jones. One of his most trusted advisors has apologised to RFU boss Bill Sweeney after online posts yesterday. The union are deciding whether to sack Jones after a poor run of results. We can speak to our rugby union correspondent Chris Jones. Chris, it's all very odd. Can you make sense of it all for us,
Yeah,
please?
strange and odd are two of the words, Kelly. It focuses around a guy called David Pembroke. Won't mean a lot to a lot of England fans, but he's a very important figure in Eddie Jones's career. Has been for decades. Jones often talks about him in his podcasts and his books about how trusted he is as an advisor and someone who shapes Jones's media strategy. But David Pembroke often finds himself in the comments section of Times Online, having a pop at anyone who has a go at Eddie Jones and generally leaping to Jones's defence. And yesterday, in a series of posts now deleted, he calls Bill Sweeney Slippery Bill and also accuses Sweeney of briefing journalists against Eddie Jones. Now, he has apologised to Bill Sweeney. No suggestion these are Eddie Jones's views, but it's an embarrassing episode all round, and you have to think it only heightens the tension between the Jones camp and the RFU hierarchy at a time that they are exploring the option of moving on from the head coach.
Chris, thank you very much for that. It certainly makes it clearer, maybe just not easier to understand what on earth is going on. Thank you very much to our rugby union correspondent, Chris Jones. Our focus now back on the World Cup and Group E, where as things stand, Spain and Germany are going through. Germany lead Costa Rica by 1-0. Updates from there and our live commentary matches at the Khalifa Stadium, where Spain are 1-0 up against Japan. Matthew Upson and Ian Dennis are there.
Thanks, Kelly. The changes have been made, 2 for Japan and 1 for Spain at half-time. Dani Carvajal has replaced Azpilicueta at right back for Spain. So they line up with Simon in goal. Back 4 now of Carvajal, Pau Torres, Rodri and Balde. 3 in midfield of Busquets, Gavi and Pedri. And then Olmo, Morata, the goal scorer, and Nico Williams are the 3 up front. So Spain are all in red, and they're playing from left to right as we look against the Japan side in their royal blue shirts and white shorts, who've made 2 changes. Ritsu Doan has come on for Kubo, and the other change is Brighton's Kaoru Mitoma, who has replaced Nagatomo. So it looks still that they're playing with a back 3, but Mitoma at the minute is playing as the left wing back. And in his previous 2 substitute appearances that have totaled just over an hour, the Brighton player has made a difference for Japan. So they line up now with Gonda in goal. Taniguchi, Izakura and Yoshida are the 3 central defenders. Ito and Mitoma are the wing backs. Tanaka and Morita in the centre of midfield, with Doan, Maeda and Kamada up front for Japan, who need to score 2 goals.
Yeah, I think they'll just similar shape, but they'll play it differently in the sense that the wing backs will push higher, be more of a 3-4-3 as opposed to the first half, which was more of like a 5-4-1 really, and they were just sat so deep. So hopefully they'll get the wing backs higher. Mitoma being one of them, who has had a good impact, hasn't he, in this World Cup, coming on off the bench. So they'll really hope for something from him on that left-hand side.
Yeah, he's done ever so well. I mean, certainly in that game against Germany, to credit Moriyasu, the substitutions that he made, all of them had a positive impact as they came from 1-0 down to win 2-1. And that's the scenario that they need to try and repeat here today, because Germany in the other game are leading 1-0. Morata's downward header, cleared forward by Tanaka. Quickly tied it up by Rodri to Pau Torres, and Torres goes all the way back to Simon. Just showed a little glimpse of the ball there to Maida, and they're after Spain here, and they're trying to press, a little bit more intensity. And again, Simon, he actually might have just got a little nick there from Maida. They've won the ball here now. Shot fired! Oh, what a start to the second half! Johan with a blistering effort. Japan put real pressure on Spain. The goalkeeper with the clearance, they won it back, and he hit a left-footed shot that the keeper got a hand to it, but he couldn't keep it out. And Japan have levelled 1-1.
Well, the intensity from the Japanese right from the off in this second half has been notably different. Whether or not that was the plan from the off, I have no clue. All I know is that has worked in this second half. They've pressed, they've really put Simon under pressure. He won't be rushed. Spain won't be rushed. They want to be calm and cool and collected on the ball. The first half has indicated that, but Japan have pressed so much better, and it's Dohan, again, with the impact off the bench. He's a cracking strike as well. Gets it onto his left foot. He's got one thing in his mind, he gets his sight set. I think Simon will be disappointed. I really do. He gets two hands across to the ball, but I think it's just the power, Deno, that takes it into the back of the net.
I mean, he did get something on it, but it was a really, really clean strike. And at the moment, Japan now are ahead of Germany. Spain and Japan at the moment are going through.
Wow.
Let's get an update of Costa Rica, Germany with Conor McNamara.
Well, this has certainly spiced things up now, Ian. This is what we mentioned would happen, and why we were saying Germany might need more than one goal tonight. The news has filtered through to Hansi Flick and the German backroom staff, and this 1-0 lead they currently hold over Costa Rica, as things stand, will not be enough. There's been a change over the break. Klosterman has come into play at right back. Kimmich's moved back into the midfield. Karen Bardsley's alongside me. This was always highly likely to come into play this evening, that Germany would need 2 goals. They've had so many chances, but the one they've scored, Karen, seems a long time ago now.
It certainly does, and it seems like very, very wasteful chances from the Germans in that first half. And you can see that there's been some adjustments made, pushing Gundo a bit higher. So
Japan are on the attack. Japan here in the penalty area. Johan towards the far post. He's in. Japan have turned it around. What a dramatic start to the second half. Oh, it's been ruled out for offside. It has been ruled out for offside. And Japan's celebrations are cut short. My word. It was a cross from the left that was headed in on the goal line.
Are they checking?
They will be checking.
I mean, I thought the ball had gone out of play. Deno, it's a step over.
It was Dohan on the right-hand side initially. He went across the face of goal. Simon was struggling, and it was Matoma with the cutback from the left. And I think the ball had gone over the byline, and then it was just knocked in by Tanaka on the goal line. He couldn't miss. I think it came off an outstretched right knee. VAR is looking. VAR is looking at this, but I think that Matoma didn't quite keep it in.
Oh, it's tight, isn't it? Really, really tight. We're talking a fraction of that ball. Whether or not there's a tiny segment of that ball still in contact with the goal line, it didn't look like it on the replay. There's a bit of a nervous wait going on here.
They're having a long look. It's the Mexican referee who's in charge of the VAR, Fernando Guerrero, and they're looking at the ball from Matoma. It was his cutback. He did ever so well to get there.
Ooh,
is all of the ball over the dead ball line?
What an impact as well, Dohan. I mean, coming on off the bench.
And Matoma again.
Unbelievable. So these substitutions are just turning the game on its head for Japan. Still checking. They're obviously not clear.
This is tight. This must be tight. The tension inside the stadium. VAR having a lengthy look as to whether all of the ball had crossed the dead ball line, left-hand side of the goal, before Matoma with the cutback. Victor Gomez, the South African referee, is in the hands of VAR. There have been some questionable VAR decisions regarding offsides and penalties, but this is just down to whether the ball went over.
It should be clear.
This is a matter of fact, yeah.
It should be clear cut, shouldn't it? I mean, you've got definitive boundaries.
The goal stands after a lengthy VAR check. Tanaka's goal stands, and Japan have done exactly to Spain what they did do to Germany. They've come from 1-0 down to lead by 2-1, and Japan now are on course to qualify for the knockout stages. What drama at the start of the second half.
Absolutely incredible stuff. I can't recognise this Japanese team that's come out in the second half from the one in the first. It's like a completely different animal. The intensity, the pressure they've applied on Spain, the mistakes they've forced, that's where they've got the opportunities from. Turning over the ball high up in the pitch. They've done it brilliantly again.
So Japan are on course to qualify, and Spain are still on course to qualify, even if they were to lose. If they were to lose, they'd still qualify if Germany, Costa Rica ends in a draw, or if Germany win, providing that Germany don't make up an 8-goal swing. So Germany now have got to try for as many goals as they can, because it's Japan who are in the box seat. You really wouldn't have predicted this, would you?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, they've just turned it on its head. And when we saw the two subs waiting on the side of the pitch at half-time as the teams were coming out to come on, and you see the numbers, and then you have a look, oh yeah, similar kind of changes, well, similar kind of impact.
So at the minute, it's Spain who would be runners-up. They've got a plus 6 goal difference. Germany's goal difference at the minute is level. So that's the difference that they've got to try and make it up. That's why it would be Spain going as the runners-up, as they now trail here by 2-1, and they're going to be making a change, a double change for Spain, as
it's a head injury.
There's a head injury over on that far side. Tanaka is the player who's gone down. So we're going to be seeing Asensio coming on and Ferran Torres for Luis Enrique, whose side, their 7-match unbeaten run in a World Cup, only once has it been bettered. But they are now trailing, and exactly what we were saying at half-time. Get after Spain, press them, and that's how the goals have come. But Matoma did exceptionally well.
I mean, all of a sudden, the midfield players of Japan, because they've pressed, they've decided to go, right, we'll go. And Tanaka, in that goal, played a massive part in getting on the ball and feeding the ball wide into Dohan, who crosses it with his right foot all the way across the face of the goal. And they're doing things early. All of a sudden, they've got this mindset, right, we get in position, we put the ball in, we ask the question of Spain, we put them under pressure. It's just completely different to the first half altogether.
Double change is going to be made then here. Let's find out what's happening in that Costa Rica-Germany game with Connor.
Yes, well, it's still Costa Rica 0, Germany 1, and Germany are facing elimination now. If your game stays as it is, they would need to score six more goals here to go through. As it is, they're just hoping that Spain can dig them out of a hole here. At the moment, 1-0. They've brought on Niklas Füllkrug, the man who scored against Spain. They might have to absolutely, we're talking about what's the German for kitchen sink. I think that's already been thrown. They're looking beyond that. Karen's alongside me. I mean, this is frantic knockout football now as the Germans break in. Füllkrug, for the first time in the penalty area, tries to shuffle it back into Musiala, and it's cleared away. Karen.
This is a bit more like it. I'm really looking forward to Füllkrug, watching him come on. He's going to make an instant impact, I think.
Bedlam, absolutely bedlam. As it stands, Germany going out, Costa Rica 0, Germany 1.
Yeah, and Japan qualifying as Group E winners. Ferran Torres has come on for Nico Williams. Marco Asensio has replaced Morata. We've got a story on our hands now. If there was no jeopardy in the first half, there is double jeopardy now for this second half, because a goal could change everything.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to the point where at half-time we're kind of looking at this game like it's a bit dead. It's a bit over. The other game's probably got more incident and excitement and more need to know about, but all of a sudden this has just come to life. And now we've got to have a little look at Spain and say, well, where do you want to finish in the group? Who do you want to play in the next round? Is it Croatia? If top will finish, will play Croatia, or second will play Croatia.
But the thing is that even if Spain were to equalise, providing there's not been another goal in that game, then it would still be Japan who would go through. However, having just said that, there has now been a goal. Conor McNamara.
It's gone to total bedlam. Costa Rica have managed to score an equaliser, and it's Yeltsin Tejeda after a really good save by Neuer, but he couldn't hold on to the ball, and he bundles it over the line, and possession was lost by Germany in the midfield, and Costa Rica, who've come forward so few occasions in the game. Fuller, who's been the right wing back, who's charging forward when he can. First attempt was saved from the header, following in that man Yeltsin Tejeda, and Germany's night has just gone from bad to worse. It's back to 1-1. Karen Bardsley.
Oh, Ram makes a poor effort in midfield, turns the ball over, and then they just cannot recover. It's unbelievable from Costa Rica. What a moment to capitalize on.
Germany go back to where they started today, at the bottom of the group. Germany, who 10 minutes ago were going through, are now bottom of the group. Costa Rica won, Germany won.
This is how it currently looks. Japan top 6 points. Spain, who are second on 4 points. Costa Rica 4 points, and Germany bottom with 2 points. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live, or indeed through the BBC Sounds app. We've been playing for nearly an hour, and Japan leading by 2-1 with 2 goals in the space of 3 second half minutes just after the restart. Ball picked up by Gavi on this near side. Gavi holds on to it, runs in field from the right, all in red, playing from left to right. Back it goes to Pau Torres. Out it goes to that far side. Now it's with Olmo to Pedri. Japan have got everybody back. Now Rodri joins the attack. Carvajal. We think that Azpilicueta, Guillaume Balaguer was saying that to us that Azpilicueta may have picked up a knock. That was why he was replaced by Carvajal at half-time by Luis Enrique. But Spain, so many people's favourites for this tournament, trailing by 2-1. And as Matt Upson quite rightly says, they're now on for a last 16 date with Morocco, and Japan would take on Croatia in the last 16, because Croatia finished top of Group F, Belgium out, Roberto Martinez stepping down, Morocco topping Group F after a 2-1 win against Canada.
The thing is, from Spain's point of view, I think I know who I'd rather play, Croatia or Morocco, wouldn't you? You'd take Morocco ahead of Croatia, wouldn't you, at the moment? From what I've seen, Croatia looking good form.
Here is Pedri. Pedri into the penalty area. Japan managed to get the ball away. Matoma charged down, comes off Gavi. It'll be a Japan throw on this near side, and they're going to bring on Takuma Asano, who got the winner against Germany here on match day 1. Let's go to find out about the latest with Germany with Connor.
Still 1-1, but Germany have just hit the post. Jamal Musiala, who's on the attack again here, giving it to Muller. Muller just wide of the top right-hand corner. But a moment ago, Musiala hit the woodwork, and Germany throwing everything at this, as they need to, Karen Bardsley, or they're going home.
It's wide open, and the spaces are appearing everywhere. I just don't see how these shots are not going in. It's just unbelievable. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Incredibly, Germany have had so many chances here, have only scored once. Costa Rica with only 2 chances in the game, and they've scored once and won what it remains for now.
Of course, a Costa Rica win, and Germany and Spain are going out, because at the moment Spain and Costa Rica are both on 4 points, but the first criteria is goal difference, then it's goals scored, and at the minute you've got a goal difference of +6 for Spain and -6 for Costa Rica.
I just thought I had it all covered on that front. You've now just completely thrown me off that Spain might not go through.
Asano, ball played up towards Ito. Ito hooks it into the penalty area, scooped up by Simon. Kamada was making a run, but the midfielder arriving too late. So there is jeopardy in both games. On BBC Radio 5 Live, 62 minutes played. And certainly Spain will want to get back level, because a Costa Rica goal will turn this group completely upside down.
I mean, they're vulnerable to that now, aren't they?
They are.
Which is, you know, that they don't want that out of their own hands. It's the first time they've felt they're not in control at this moment. And, you know, it could play right into Japan's hands, if I'm honest, because they're going to have to come out and go forward and take a couple of risks and leave Pau Torres, Rodri at the back. And this Japanese team's looking rampant at the moment on the break.
Matoma out to Doan. Doan on the edge of the area, tries to thread it through for the run of Tanaka. What's strange is that they're showing more ambition now, leading 2-1, than when they were trailing in the first half in a game that they had to win.
It's just like they've parked the fear. It's gone. It's like they've got rid of it. The first half was very cagey. They played within themselves. They've come out in this second half, and I don't know what the team talk was, or whether or not that was the actual plan. Who knows? But they're a different team at the moment, and they're enjoying this position now. Something to hang on to. They're digging in. They're really, you know, enjoying this moment of Spain having to get out of their comfort zone and go and score a goal. And it's just going to leave Spain a little bit more open.
Ball played forward away from Olmo, and in the end it was Yoshida who was felled, and he'll win a free kick. Also, as well, remember in that first half, all three central defenders for Japan, Yoshida, Itakura and Taniguchi, were booked. Itakura, incidentally, would be suspended for the last 16 as a result, and he's been one of 5 players who started every game so far for Japan. We're on a knife edge in both of the games. But Japan leading here by 2-1. And Costa Rica 1, Germany 1. Away from the substitute, Asano, and out for a goal kick. Spain, who've won their final group game in 8 of the last 9 World Cups. The exception was actually against Morocco in a 2-2 draw in Russia. They could be facing Morocco once again, as it stands. But a Costa Rica goal, and Spain and Germany are going out.
That would be unbelievable.
It would be unbelievable. Here is Kamada. Japan lead 2-1. Tanaka. Doan. E2 going ahead of him. Japan get a throw on the right-hand side. So such a stark contrast to the performance again.
I was just look at the wing back over the far side there, E2. All of a sudden, he's on an overlap outside of the attacking right-sided play, which is Dohan. And he's there in a flash, though. The first half, he just wouldn't have got up there. He just stayed back and sat in that defensive line in the back 5, allowed Dohan to have the ball, and they would have probably turned it over, lost it, Spain got it back, and then they're back on a wave of attack. But not in this half. They're on the overlap, even at 2-1 now. They've still got the same mindset as when they started the second half at 1-0 down.
Guillaume Balaguer, who was with us at the start and at half-time, he looked quite relaxed, didn't he? He was smiling. Didn't really sense that Spain would be in any danger, but the way that the events have transpired in this second half, there is that peril now, as it's going to be a goal kick to Spain, and they take it quickly. Spain trailing 2-1, 1-1 Costa Rica against Germany. Carvajal inside. Spain are going to be making another double change, and it's going to be Jordi Alba, who's one of the players who's going to be coming on. I would imagine that he would replace Balde over on that left-hand side, and then Ansu Fati is the other player coming on. For when he played in the warm-up game against Jordan on November the 17th, he'd gone over 2 years without an appearance in the Spanish setup. So it was somewhat of a gamble for his inclusion by Luis Enrique, and they will need his first appearance at this World Cup now to pay off. For Japan, for Spain rather, just to sit a little more comfortably. The change is going to happen now. We'll take advantage of that and go to Conor McNamara.
Midway through the second half, it's a frenzy. Costa Rica 1, Germany 1, and Germany have hit the post again, and it's Jamal Musiala again. Second time he's hit that same post in the game. The Germans, well, they brought on Havertz, they brought on Füllkrug, but what else can they do now? Karen Bardsley's alongside me.
I'm not really sure there's anything else they can do. They've been absolutely exceptional going forward, and I just cannot believe that ball hasn't found the back of the net for Musiala. He's been outstanding.
Incredible that Costa Rica, who lost 7-0 to Spain last week, if they could get one more goal here, they'll be knocking Spain out. 1-1 for the moment.
Thank you, Conor. Thank you, Karen. We're still awaiting Fati to come on. Jordi Alba has replaced Balde. And now Ansu Fati comes on. He actually scored in that game against Jordan. So he has come on, and it's Gavi who has gone off, and Japan are also making a change, and it is going to be Kamada who is coming off. He's been in excellent form for Eintracht Frankfurt this season, and it's going to be Tomiyasu, Arsenal's Takehiro Tomiyasu, who's had calf issues, real doubt coming into this game for him. So that is a defensive change that is being made by Moriyasu.
Yeah, I think Tomiyasu's going to drift over to that right-hand sided defence. I think Ito's just shifted over to the left, so they've brought on a defensive player for Kamada, who's very much an attacking midfield player, and they've just shuffled the team a little bit to allow Tomiyasu over to that right wing-back position. It's just a move just to try and make them more solid. I think they're still going to try and get high and press, but just a change of skill set of individual personnel.
A night of fluctuating fortunes, and there is still enough time, with just over 20 minutes of normal time remaining, for Group E to change again. But as it stands at the moment, oh, hold on, because there's been another goal. Conor.
Ian, I can't believe I'm about to say this sentence. Deep breath. Costa Rica 2, Germany 1, and the ball's been shuffled in by Juan Pablo Vargas. Germany's statuesque defence couldn't keep it out. It was a free kick lobbed into the penalty area by Joel Campbell, and Costa Rica have got the goal that could be eliminating not just Germany but Spain as well. This is out of this world. Karen Bardsley.
That's just a jammy goal. Not being funny. What a free kick that was into the box, but the header, well contested. Honestly, it just looked like no one could make a decision in terms of who to come, and it just rolled into the back of the net.
Manuel Neuer just couldn't react. You've never seen anything like this in your life. Costa Rica 2, Germany 1.
As it stands, Japan are going through as group winners. Costa Rica are going through as Group E runners-up. Spain and Germany are 19 minutes away from being both eliminated at this World Cup. What a dramatic night.
I just can't believe it. I cannot believe the turnaround in this second half. And I'm just watching a slow motion replay of another chance for Japan. Should have scored.
Yeah.
Easy. It was a great delivery from the left. Ball right across the face. I think it's Asano who came on with his right foot, didn't connect cleanly, but a great chance to score. And Spain, wow, I mean, I'm not sure if the players know yet, but they've got to step up the intensity here.
Spain need a goal. Spain are going out.
Incredible.
They're trailing by 2-1. It is such a remarkable night, especially given the comfort that they were in. There is certainly no luxury now for these Spanish players. Real danger, trailing 2-1.
I haven't seen any activity on the Spanish bench yet, have you? Nobody's kind of running out and putting messages out to the team and looking flustered at all.
What a double whammy it would be in terms of a scalp for Japan, and in the manner to as well have come from behind against Germany and Spain. Here is Olmo running forward on the right-hand side, all in red, playing from left to right. Costa Rica, they lead Germany by 2-1. Germany squandering another lead in this World Cup. Asensio passes the ball out towards the far side. Well, certainly now the people inside this stadium know all about it as a cross from the left, because the Group E leaderboard has just been put up on the giant screens inside the Khalifa Stadium.
Just in case they didn't know,
Here is Olmo, turns into the penalty area. Japan have got so many blue shirts back inside that penalty area. If you weren't aware of it before, you are now. And we're keeping you bang up to date on 5 Live. Back to Conor McNamara.
Well, the drama never stops because Kai Havertz off the bench for Germany has just got the ball into the back of the net. And it's 2-2. Germany desperately needed that. It may not be enough for them, but it could save Spain. Ball into the penalty area, left-hand side. Costa Rican defenders are absolutely exhausted. Havertz is onside as he puts it beyond Navas. And it's Costa Rica 2, Germany 2. And the drama isn't over yet.
But a Spain goal here would actually take Germany through because their goal difference would be level, but Germany would have scored more goals. So Germany now be hoping that Spain can level. They're on the attack with Ferran Torres into the penalty area. Challenge comes in, they're looking for a penalty. Looked like Ferran Torres was brought down there. The bench down below are pleading for a penalty. Meanwhile, it continues. Shot blocked by Asensio. Spain still behind. They, of course, now won't know what's going on. Spain will want their equaliser themselves. 2-1 down. Ball played forward by Carvajal. Towering header away by Taniguchi.
Here we go. The group's now up on the big board.
And now the Spanish flags are being waved inside the stadium. Huge sigh of relief from the Spanish supporters here inside the Khalifa International Stadium, and the Spanish journalists who are alongside us are also breathing a little more comfortably as well. A Spain goal though could help Germany. Cross comes in from Ferran Torres, headed away. We have 16 minutes remaining of normal time. I might need a stiff drink after this.
There is a long way to go. Think of the injury time then alone.
I might have to have a full fat Coke.
Yeah.
Here is Olmo.
Live a little.
Out to Ferran Torres. Torres delivers the cross, chips it into the penalty area. Excellent header away by Itakura. The defending deep. Picked up on this near side. Rodri finds Pedri. Slight figure, the young midfielder, out towards the far side. Quite a high line, but playing in front of Japan at the moment.
Yeah, Japan very much the back 5 now. They're just kind of retreating a little bit, and Spain are pushing further and further forwards. They have to get out, the midfield have to get out a little bit more. It'll help the back 5 if they can get a bit more pressure on the ball.
2-2 in the other game, 2-1 here to Japan. No foul. South African referee says it's a goal kick. Can't recall with 2 sets of games on the final day of a group game where it has changed so much.
On its head. Multiple times. I mean, the thought that Japan could actually go out is just enough to say, well, look how well they've done in this game, in this tournament, and they could actually end up out of the tournament. It's incredible.
I've got a feeling that Iniesta, who's here in the stadium, I've got a feeling he's watching the Germany game on his phone. Either that or he's listening to BBC Sounds, because we're keeping you up to date. Conor McNamara.
2-2 Costa Rica, Germany, and Germany so close to scoring. Keylor Navas, the Paris Saint-Germain goalkeeper, spreading his body wide. Full creek shot's got on target. He saved it with his forehead. Anywhere will do, and they put it out. Costa Rica still need another goal here to get back into the contention to go through. 2-2 for the moment. Both of these teams been eliminated as things stand.
Yeah, Costa Rica and Germany going home. Japan going through as group winners. Spain trailing by 2-1 as runners-up. If Spain can equalise, though, it'll be the 2 European sides who will be going through. And that is not even taken into consideration if Costa Rica can get themselves in front. What drama on BBC Radio 5 Live. 13 minutes of normal time remaining. Ball played by Rodri. Ferran Torres on this right-hand side, level with the area. Playing from left to right, all in red. Looking towards Olmo. Olmo outside the box. Now goes towards Asensio. Asensio turns, right corner of the area. Looks for a shooting opportunity. Chips and curls the ball over. Fati directs his header away towards that far side. It's picked up by Pedri. Little touch by Carvajal. Back towards Pedri once again. Pedri strokes it infield. Rodri looks like he's going to shoot from distance. Then he takes it one touch too far. Plays the ball out towards Carvajal on the right-hand side. Japan have got every blue shirt back behind the ball. Spain looking for that opening. One touch passing, keeping it moving. Pedri floats the ball over towards Fati. It's Akura with a header away. Drops towards Fati once again. Plays it out towards that far side, the left. Cross, edge of the area. Turned by Asensio. Man over on the left. Comes in first time. Cleared away by Morita.
Good clearance as well. Sometimes not easy when the ball's bouncing in front of you. Got to keep your eye on it. Not swing too hard to get too much distance. He got a good side foot. Just punch the ball clear.
Carvajal, little touch now to Rodri. Rodri finds Pau Torres forward of the centre circle in the Japan half.
I don't know about you, Deno, but when I hear we're going to Connor, I'm just bracing myself in the seat for another goal or the picture to change again.
If you want to just listen back through BBC Sounds to the start of the second half, because you've got the rewind facility to do that, that mad, chaotic 4-5 minutes of just pure mayhem. We were hearing from a goal from Connor and Karen, and then Japan, and that lengthy VAR wait, then went 2-1 up. I mean, it was just pure chaos.
It's calmed down a little bit though, hasn't it? The Spanish bench and the supporters seem a little bit calmer since they've seen that revised table go up on the big screen.
But a Costa Rica goal and it all changes, and that's what Spain can't rely on. Out it goes to Fati, left-hand side. Fati infield. Little touch from Pedri, blocked by Dohan.
He's been good, isn't he? Dohan, you know, the impact he's had off the bench.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, how he must feel that he's not starting the game.
2 goals for him in this tournament. He got the equaliser against Germany, got the equaliser here against Spain. The Freiburg midfielder. Here is Olmo, shoots from distance, headed away by Taniguchi, picked up by Carvajal, out to this side to Ferran Torres, looks to go on the outside of Matoma. They've doubled up on him now as well, and in fact it was good work on this side. They've given it away by Morita. Closing down in the midfield though was Dohan, heads it forward to Asano. The red shirts of Spain win it back.
It's camped in their half now, aren't they? Japan have to be a little bit careful. I know you're at that stage of the game, Spain are probing, but it is literally just camped in that Japan half. Rodri and Pau Torres are probably 5-10 yards over the halfway line, and it's just a probing session. How they keep the ball, can they find that little piece of movement? Is there a Japanese defender who's just going to switch off for a split second and allow that run to go off the back of them, not get the right angle, not cut the right channel of pass? Like, they're looking for that tiny little mistake every time. It's all about focus and concentration now for Japan.
You're listening to 5 Live, and I make no apologies to keep reminding you of the scoreline and the scenario as the ball is rolled forward towards Fati. The return ball from Asensio. Fati forced out wide, looking for the cutback, and it's going to be a goal kick, says the South African referee. So it remains Japan 2, Spain 1 here. Costa Rica 2, Germany 2, and in Group E, Japan and Spain, as it stands, are going through. Spain will edge out Costa Rica. Well, actually, it won't edge them out on goal difference because of their handsome win against them in the first game, but that is the criteria to settle the two. And the reason I keep on repeating it is to A, keep you in touch, but also to remind me and Matt that we've got it right. Here's Conor McNamara.
Yes, 2-2 it remains into the final 10 minutes. Costa Rica against Germany. Costa Rica had that 2-1 lead, and we're at that moment in time and eliminating the 2 big guns of the group. One more goal for Costa Rica, Ian, as you said, can change everything, but the Germans are the ones applying the pressure. They throw everything, but really they need Spain to help them out. This is incredible, Cara Bardsley.
Worried about your blood pressure, frankly. This is exciting.
Costa Rica have a chance to become legends here, and I think around the world, think of how many people will be cheering them on. The clock is ticking, about 8 minutes plus the stoppages to go. 2-2 here.
We have 8 minutes remaining as well. A goal for Spain would eliminate Japan and take Germany through. As Japan, though, have been awarded a free kick on this near side, the left, 10 yards in, from the left touchline, nearly 30 yards out from goal.
If Karen's worried about Connor's blood pressure, do we need to call a doctor? Because this is getting heated, isn't it? I can tell. You're in the flow, you're in the rhythm, Deno. It's all happening.
Well, there is still enough time to change. And remember, with the additional time, the lottery of the additional time, we could be playing for another 6-7 minutes in either game. They looked offside there as the header from Itakura from the free kick from the left was comfortably saved by Simon.
I think they were onside as well.
Or were they onside?
I think so. I mean, I think because they timed the run, they didn't start the wrong side. The hands went up, the flag never went up. I know the goalkeeper called it, so we might not know, but I thought they timed their runs quite well there.
Free kick against Japan. It was Brighton's Matoma for the challenge on Asensio. They've taken it quickly. Asensio floats it forward. Cushion header down by Yoshida. Helped further clear by Morita in the midfield. Spain, they'll get it back on the halfway line. 7 minutes remain of normal time here in the second half in the Khalifa International Stadium.
There's not been a lot of stoppages either, has there? Quite a lot of subs, but can't remember any notable injuries.
No. Matoma trying to get in her foot into the challenge. Asensio playing on the right-hand side, keeps the ball in play. Carvajal is forced to retreat. Now finds Pau Torres, left side of the centre circle. On the halfway line, Pedri takes over, passes the ball forward. Jordi Alba with a low cross. Struck the heels of Itakura. Morita plays it up towards Asano, looking to turn inside his own half. He's got the supporting run. Oh, that was a blatant check, but it will run through nevertheless. And it will run through towards Ito, who was making the run.
I thought for a split second there Ito had the legs on Jordi Alba, or was it Carvajal from right back recovering. I really thought he was going to get the wrong side of him then. The Spanish right back just recovered in time.
Germany are requiring Spain to score, otherwise the Germans are going out. If Costa Rica were to score, then Spain and Germany will be going out. And hold on to your hats, there's been another goal. Conor McNamara.
Kai Havertz is certainly the party pooper for Costa Rica. Off the bench, he's got his second goal here. Costa Rica 2, Germany 3. For the second time of the game, the Germans lead. Cross from Serge Gnabry in through the penalty area. Havertz arriving at the far post, finishing so calmly with everyone losing their head around him. He keeps his cool. Germany back in front, but as things stand, it won't be enough for them. They move to third place for now. They still need Spain to score, Deno.
Cross comes in from the left-hand side. Japan get the ball away. Germany now require a big favour from Spain, who are attacking. So Spain are safe. The way that it's turned out now, with Germany leading by 3-2. The only scenario now for Spain to go back out is for Costa Rica to score 2. As the ball is played in from the right-hand side by Asensio, cleared away. A goal here for Spain would break Japanese hearts, and we have 4.5 minutes remaining.
Unbelievable stuff here. I mean, the tension is absolutely incredible. And Spain, off of that news, they're not easing up, are they? They're not looking to think, okay, we're comfortable, let's just make sure we're all right. They're going to keep going. They're keeping asking the question. They're searching for that goal, and Japan just have to hang on.
Rodri passes the ball out. Asensio. Ball then with Rodri back towards Asensio. They're looking for the European Union. Germany for Spain, they're looking for a little favour.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if they're going to get it. You know, this defensive setup that Japan have had in this second half has been very effective. I mean, they've limited very few chances to Spain, and it's partly because they've been more on the front foot, even in a defensive sense. They've just taken the game that little bit higher, really competed well.
Tanaka is coming off, he's being replaced by Endo. Plays his football in Stuttgart, defensive midfielder. He'd been a doubt ahead of this game. He'd started the first 2 matches, he comes on for the last 3 minutes as they try to keep Spain at bay. Japan, who are looking to qualify for the knockout stages of consecutive tournaments for the first time. If they concede, they will be going out because Germany will have scored more goals. Germany, who are leading against Costa Rica by 3-2. Rodri to Asensio, right-hand side. Mitoma tries to hold him off. Short diagonal ball cleared away. That Japanese back line really isn't moving. Mitoma is sent scampering forward as he slides and drops to his knees, and Rodri in the foot chase sees it back towards Simon.
He just needed to get that ball there, Mitoma. I think he beat Rodri to the ball, but he wasn't brave enough to get his body across him and have his first touch away from him. If he runs away with that ball there, the difference that makes to his teammates to win a foul, win a throw-in, higher up the pitch, and just take the pressure off for a split second.
Ball played up to the edge of the area. Ferran Torres looking to turn. No room to turn, no room to manoeuvre. Cleared away by the vastly experienced Yoshida. Clears long. Pau Torres picks it up midway through his own half. 2 minutes of normal time remaining. 5 Live. Here at the Khalifa International Stadium. Germany, as it stands, are going out with Costa Rica. Japan will qualify as Group E winners. Here is Rodri. Ball played back towards Pau Torres. Pedri waits alongside him on the left. Rodri getting further and further forward. Asensio on this right-hand side. Asensio with a cross into the penalty area. Comes to the edge of the area. Shot by Alba. Charged down by Japan. Ball breaks back to the centre circle. Spain are knocking at the door. Germany are hoping that they can score. In comes the cross, but it's repelled once more. We're going back to Conor McNamara.
Well, bit of drama here. VAR review. Fulkrug had the ball in the back of the net, but he looked him in an offside position as the ball came in.
Shot still. Cleared away. Sorry, Conor.
Information from the officials. Certainly as the ball comes into the penalty area, Fulkrug is offside. Then it's nodded to him. Does it become a new phase by the time it comes out? If this goal is allowed to stand, Germany would still need
ball
5
back towards
more to knock out
Olmo
Spain.
with a shot saved by the keeper. We cannot miss the opportunity here at the Khalifa International Stadium, because the goal would have repercussions not just here but also for Costa Rica, Germany. And that was an excellent save, because Olmo in the penalty area just gathered in by Gonda.
That's a brilliant save, and a brilliant one too as well. And Olmo, he's in on goal. He's going to be so disappointed with that chance. He doesn't connect properly with it. Brilliantly worked by Spain. Just a really quick 1-2, but he hits his strike into the ground, allows Gonda the opportunity just to get his hands on it. Should have been a goal, Deno.
That was the moment for Spain to equalise. That was the moment that could have taken Germany with Spain into the knockout stages to eliminate Japan. That's how tight it is. That's how tense it is. Japan leading by 2-1. And we're going to find out how much added on time there will be. We'll need to find out how much added on time, likewise with Conor's game. We've got 7 minutes here. 7 minutes of additional time. 7 minutes for Spain to lend a helping hand for Germany.
That could be a long 7 minutes for Japan, couldn't it? It's absolute siege mentality down on that pitch at the moment. Just lines of blue shirts all together, all pulling in one direction, organising, keeping those distances really narrow, not allowing any red shirts, any pockets of space in front of the 18-yard box where they can work those little 1-2s like they do so brilliantly, Spain.
They'll hope that it's 7 heaven for those minutes to tick by, but in that intervening period it's going to feel more like hell for Japan as they cling on here, because a goal changes everything. And Spain once again have the ball with Pau Torres. They work it out towards Fati. They've got the width, left-hand side. Fati waiting. Japan have got everybody back. The little flick will not come off. Gonda will gather it in. Conor, how long have you got left in your match?
Well, first of all, Deno, the goal has stood after the VAR review, so we're waiting to see. They haven't put up the times for the stoppages, but 4-2 in this game. Germany would need 5 goals more for them to keep it in their hands. They need a Spain goal more than anything to put them through. We're into stoppages, yet to confirm how many.
OK, thank you, Conor. So Germany 4-2 up. They need a Spain equaliser as Japan lead by 2-1. And then it would be Spain and Germany going through. But at the minute, it's Japan and Spain on a night of high drama in Qatar. Asensio can't keep the ball in play. And there was cheers from the Japanese support of 2 minutes of the 7 have already ticked by.
Well, they've got to try and tick a few more by, and mistakes or loose passes like that by Spain certainly does help the cause. I know that they're going to be in too much of a rush to take this throw in. Just try and get the ball up the other end of the pitch. And, you know, winning a foul or a throw in is just vital for them at the moment.
Ito. Mitoma can't keep it in as he ran down this near left touchline. Carvajal wants to take the throw quickly. It was never realistic to expect an 8-goal swing in Germany's favour. They would have been hoping that Japan didn't win this game. So as far as Germany are doing, they've done as much as they can realistically. But who would have predicted that scintillating start to the second half from Japan? Leading by 2-1, and they're about 4 minutes away of injury time from booking their place in the last 16. Carvajal.
There's going to be another chance. You just know it. In that time, there's enough time for Spain to manufacture something.
Pau Torres drives it powerfully into the heart of that Japanese defence. Endo, the substitute, volleys the ball away. Out it goes for a throw on that far side. Spain want to take it quickly, but there's a Japanese defender. Is it Yoshida? No, in fact it's the midfielder, Hiromasa Morita, who has gone down. A touch of cramp, and I'm not surprised.
I am not surprised. He has been everywhere. Those two in the middle of the park got the real run around in the first half, but the second half they've been trying to press a lot higher. He's put a lot of work in the heart of the team for Japan.
Ball is played forward. With Germany leading by 4-2, the jeopardy for Spain has disappeared. It's now a question of Japan or Germany who'll be going through. And we've got 3 minutes remaining of added on time here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Ball played forward by Carvajal. Ferran Torres, right-hand side of the penalty area. It's a heavy cross from the right-hand side. Kept in play though by Jordi Alba. Plays it back, 6 yards. Now towards Pedri, hits a low, flat ball in, cleared by Yoshida and helped further away. And they'll only chase after it a certain period. They do not want to come out. They do not want to give that space for Spain to get in behind Japan.
Well, Tomiyasu just puts his foot through the ball and literally sprints straight after, almost like a rugby kick up in the air. Once he realised he wasn't going to get there, he did exactly that. Disengaged, dropped back into that right-sided position, and that back 5 now all in a line, about 10 yards outside the 18-yard box, just shuffling about, getting their distances right. Spain with the ball, but Japan just cannot allow any more chances.
Germany's World Cup participation here in Qatar rests on Spain in the next 2 minutes. 2-1 to Japan. Carvajal on the right-hand side. Asensio level with the penalty area. Asensio with a low cross, cleared away by Endo. There were 7 blue shirts in and around their penalty area. They're well drilled, they're organised, they're disciplined. Spain will come knocking once more. Fati. By and large, though, they've played in front of this Japan defence. 90 seconds remain on 5 Live. Olmo picks it up, shoots, drags it wide, and it was always going well wide off a tired right-footed shot. And it's a goal kick, and Gonda is in no hurry to pick up that ball by the advertising hoardings.
In fact, the referee is so aware of it. He's just loitering around the edge of the 18-yard box, making sure the Japanese goalkeeper doesn't waste any time and isn't, you know, taking too long to get that ball and put it in position for this goal kick.
The Japanese supporters, a pocket of them towards our left-hand side, are preparing to celebrate. The Japanese flags are flying with a larger vast of blue shirts on that far side because we're 50 seconds away. It's either Germany or Japan, and the high ball is guided back by Itakura, and Gonda just falls on the ball, cradles it safely in his arms, and now Japan will push out because we have 30 seconds remaining, and Germany, who were knocked out in Russia by South Korea, are now going to be eliminated in Group E by Japan. The camera is trained on the substitutes down below. They've all linked their arms. They're preparing to celebrate. The 7 minutes of additional time is over. We're now in the hands of the referee. And he's blown his whistle. Germany, despite winning, auf Wiedersehen. They've been eliminated. And Japan are going through. They came from behind against Germany. They've come from behind against Spain. But they're going through as Group E winners. And for the first time in consecutive tournaments, Japan have qualified for knockout stages of the World Cup. Beaming smiles down below. And what a night of high drama. And Conor McNamara, Germany's win, not enough. Eliminated yet again.
They don't know it yet, but their goose is cooked. Germany are out of the World Cup here. They would need to score 5 goals in the remaining 2 minutes of stoppages. No miracle is going to achieve that. And Germany, who tonight have had to come from behind to take this lead, 4-2. They lead Costa Rica. 2 goals from Kai Havertz off the bench. A goal for Fulkrug. 2-2 for him off the bench for Germany. Gnabry got the first one, but it's all been in vain. This late flurry of goals. They've been shooting fish in a barrel, but the fish are still swimming around in there. Karen, Germany are out, and yet they play on, and the full reality of this is yet to sink in.
I don't even know what their faces are going to look like when this final whistle goes and they realize that they're out of the tournament. It's just been an unbelievable game. Like, the differences between the first and the second half and the confidence that Costa Rica have on the ball, the Germans just look so deflated.
If you're just joining our coverage on 5 Live and on BBC Sounds, at one stage tonight Costa Rica were leading here, and that was going to eliminate both Germany and Spain. It's been a night of absolute high drama. Remember, all games available to listen to on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, but Germany were able to steady the ship here from 2-1 down. They've turned it around to lead 4-2. However, in that scenario, we said it right from the start tonight, Germany must win, and then if they win, they need Spain not to lose. But Japan's 2-1 win in the Khalifa Stadium against the Spanish has made this virtually mission impossible for Germany. They would need 5 more goals on top of the 4 they have. Into the penalty area comes Musiala, who's hit the woodwork twice tonight, now followed up by Serge Gnabry. Into the penalty area again. Musiala dribbling like he's in a school playground, shoots with his left foot, and it's saved by Keylor Navas. And Costa Rica breathe again as the ball is thrown out by Keylor Navas. They've had some grueling experiences in this World Cup. They were beaten 7-0 by Spain, but at one stage tonight they led the Germans, and we thought it might be a historic continuation in the tournament for Costa Rica. Those late German goals will eliminate them, but it won't be enough to save Germany as we play on. We've played the 10 minutes here, but the female referee Stephanie Frappart, first time we've had an all-female team of officials in charge of a World Cup game, blows the final whistle, and that is it. The scene that Germany win a game but do not celebrate. Hansi Flick looks like he's just going to a funeral. His team have managed to win the game, but Germany are down and out. Their players are down on their haunches. They have won 4-2, but there's no victory here for the second World Cup in a row. Germany go out in the group stages.
It's disbelief. I actually can't believe what I'm seeing in front of me. I mean, it just, so many missed opportunities, just not clinical enough. There was no shortage of creation in front of goal, but it's unbelievable. Some really poor defending and some really poor goalkeeping as well.
One of the really big guns, one of the 4-time winners of the World Cup, are out of Qatar 2022. It's the end of the line for Germany. They have beaten Costa Rica 4-2, but it's one of those nights when it's simply not been enough.
Connor and Karen, thank you very much. So Germany did what they had to do. They got the 4-2 victory, but it wasn't enough, and they are out of this World Cup. At 40 victory coming against Costa Rica, they finished bottom of the group. There is anguish on German faces at the Al Bayt Stadium, but inside the Khalifa Stadium, on the faces of the Japan players and on the faces in the crowds, it looks like anguish, but it is tears of joy, huge emotion as they reach the knockout stages of a World Cup for just the only time consecutively. That's consecutive last 16 places for Japan. for the very first time in their football history. The players do not want to leave the pitch. The fans do not want to leave the stadium. And that's where we find Matthew Upson and Ian Dennis. Deno, what an evening and what a turnaround for Japan.
Incredible. It doesn't do it justice, the way that the group and the drama just fluctuated throughout the course of a second half, as the players down below have just been having a huddle, and in the centre of that huddle is their 54-year-old coach, Jaime Moriyasu, who, just as he did against Germany, made tactical changes that really made such a difference, because he brought on Doan and Mitoma at the start of the second half, and within minutes it paid dividends, and that's when the fun started. I feel as if we've had a game of the footballing equivalent of snakes and ladders in Group E, because Doan with a blistering shot after 48 minutes got them level, and then after a lengthy VAR delay, Tanaka with the goal just 3 minutes later, and they did exactly what we, Guillem and yourself, were talking about, to get after Spain, and that's how the goals materialised at the start of the second half. And then they defended superbly, and by and large Spain played in front of Japan in that second half, and when Germany were clearly doing their bit, they needed Spain to equalise, because once Germany were ahead, the jeopardy and the peril that Spain were in at one stage had disappeared, and obviously Japan stood firm, and that's the reason why Germany have gone out.
What an evening it's been. As Deno was saying, it's gone every which way in terms of who qualifies from this group. When Spain got the first goal of the evening, they and Japan were progressing to the knockout stages. Germany then scored to make it 1-0 against Costa Rica. At that stage, Spain and Germany were both progressing from the group. That's the way it was at half-time, when it all seemed relatively calm. Straight after the break, though, Japan got 2 goals in really quick succession. That meant it was back on for Japan, and they were joining Spain in the last 16. A couple of minutes later, Costa Rica got 2 goals within the space of 12 minutes. At that stage, Japan and Costa Rica were through, and Spain and Germany were out. But Germany's equaliser against Costa Rica meant that Spain would progress with Japan. Germany's goal that took them in front by Kai Havertz, and the one that made it 4-2 from Füllkrug, made no difference, because it was all down to goals scored, and Germany could not turn that around against a Spain side who had that 7-0 victory against Costa Rica on the opening game of this World Cup. So, to recap, it is Spain and Japan who are through to the last 16. Costa Rica and 4-time winners Germany are out.